Wow, here we are.
She's back.
Once again.
They're back.
That's right. I love how we try and pretend as if there is any sort of order to the chaos, where we're like, we need to make sure the audio and is synced up. And
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. We could literally be recording this episode while we're both taking a fat shit.
True.
Horrible audio.
I've done that before. For the earlier ones, before we started recording, that's what I would do.
And I couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
Incredible. That's why you never see the lower half of her body.
Yeah, I'm on a toilet right now.
Yeah. That's actually healthier for you. Did you know that? Did you know that? Like,
yeah, because it was like, put your knees above your waist when you poo. And I was like, what?
That's right. That's why whenever I poop, I put my legs up against the wall.
Yeah, you gotta
like,
brace yourself. Yeah.
I look like I'm doing those like leg push-up things at the gym. You can tell I don't
I've seen someone do that. Yeah.
Leg lifts. Yeah. Little do you know that they're constantly shitting themselves.
True. I believe it.
Poo City. Yeah.
Butt sweat. Anyway.
I kind of like it. The scent.
A little slurp. What? Who said that?
Okay. Wow. Jesus Christ. This is. I don't know why I continue doing this with you. This is a family channel.
Sorry.
This is wholesome content.
I forgot this is on Nick Jr. now. I forgot.
Yeah. We got bought out.
Yeah.
We were hoping for Cartoon Network, so we would be on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
In between reruns of Eric Andre and that Sam Hyde show that was canceled because it was alt-right. And seeing clips of it, it's pretty funny. Oh, controversial statement. Oh. To be fair, I didn't see the ones where he was like doing black voice, so what do I know? We are here to talk about the important topics that I don't think that people are really engaging with, right? And I say this as someone who is an intellectual. We all know this. I'm incredibly cerebral.
Definitely.
On top of being like very hot and like nice and also rich.
And humble. You forgot humble.
That's true. But I wanted you to say it.
Yeah.
Because I needed a third party perspective.
Exactly. Do I get the $20 for saying that now?
No.
Or okay.
No.
Okay.
I don't pay her for this, by the way. Yeah. For any of you who are wondering, she gets nothing.
There's actually a gun just right off screen right now being pointed at me.
I take money from her. Yeah. I charge her for interacting with me.
Yeah. This is a cameo.
Well, I wanted to...
Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
It's fine. The amount of times I cut you off, at this point, you are within your right to just stop me mid-joke and just be like, shut up! Yeah. Oh my god. Violence is not the answer, Rachel.
Sorry.
So I wanted to talk about wasps. And I bring this up because as I can't speak. That was embarrassing.
Wow.
People
thought you were an intellectual.
My head just tilted. No. Sorry, I was having a Larry King moment.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about. Look up him during his like later years where he cannot even pronounce the person the name of the person he's talking to.
Poor guy.
That's sad. That's going to be me at 35, not even let alone 80. So I bring up rich people because, as you know, I came from a pretty comfortable like upper middle class upbringing. But just like the spoiled, ingrate child of immigrants that did well in this country, it is not enough. Mm-hmm. It will never be enough because my soul is a black void that can only be filled with material goods.
Yeah.
And I bring this up because as an aspiring rich person, the rich American version of an aristocracy is fascinating to me. Have you ever looked at a WASP? A wealthy Anglo-Saxon Protestant, I think. No, or white. Actually, no, the W should be wealthy, right? Because I've seen regular English working class people. There's nothing special about them.
With their crazy teeth.
It's disturbing. I'm glad that we cut ourselves off from that dying empire.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about, like, think The Great Gatsby. The ultimate cuck. The ultimate literary cuck. The Great Gatsby. Those are wasps, right? Have you ever just looked at them?
Fortunately, no.
Looked at them? Yes. And it's a good thing that you haven't, because they are all hideous.
Yeah.
And it's it's an ugliness that can only be brought on by, like, years of indulgent dieting, where, like, all of their ancestors had gout and severe inbreeding. It's that, like, it's that royal look.
Yeah.
Like, look at Prince Charles.
Messed up.
Look at Prince Charles.
I don't want to.
Horse? I understand that. Diana had to look at that every day. I think that was part of the reason that she went insane.
Yeah.
And he gets away with it. Because he has that look where he's like, he's hideous, but at the same time, you can tell that he has money.
Yeah.
You can tell his family has blood money. That's how they get you. It's, if anything, it makes ugliness chic. Because you can't be poor and ugly. You can't have those two combinations. No, it doesn't work. But you can be new money and ugly, but only in America.
Yeah.
The U.S. is like one of the only places where you can have new money, where like you were born in a crack house, but like you've made it and you're not a billionaire.
Yeah.
And look busted, a la Jay-Z. And people will be like, okay, that's acceptable. You try that shit in England. You try that in certain parts of Europe. They will kick you out. They'll be like, not you. Get out. You've got to have an overbite to belong to this club.
Oh my god, I'm in.
That's how they all talk.
I'm in.
Wow, sorry, but I'm going to need to see your bank account. Insufficient funds.
Yeah.
Miss Rachel. Insufficient funds.
True.
And the reason that I like, and this is the thing, because there's a lot of people that are inbred. There's a lot of people that are inbred. There's a lot of people whose family did messed up shit in the past. I'm certain that my ancestors were up to something. And I'd be disappointed if they were just humble peasant farmers. You better have been burning down a village.
True.
You know? The difference is that they didn't benefit financially from that. They didn't get rich off of it. So it doesn't count. Mm-hmm. But if you're inbred and poor, like the Amish,
Yeah.
or who knows, maybe the Amish are loaded. Maybe they've been very careful
True.
about like hiding their funds.
Yeah.
And then when this entire country falls, like they're going to be the gods that rise up from the ashes because they know how to like garden.
They know how to survive.
They know how to grow their vegetables.
Yeah.
What skills do we have? We would be like, you know, traveling jesters
Yeah.
or bards,
Yeah.
where we'd basically be like reciting tweets that we remember vaguely. That would be the modern day equivalent of a traveling bard. But they know what they're about.
True.
And that's why I'm fascinated by rich waspy people. Don't believe the Ralph Lauren ads, okay? They take, because those are hot people that look wasp adjacent,
True.
but those are hot like English people that were living in the middle of Ohio and they got scouted in a mall.
Yeah.
And everyone collectively was like, you're too hot to be living in the Midwest. You don't belong here. You're better than these people. And then they got scouted and they got cast by the, you know, Ralph Lauren or whatever. That's not what rich people look like.
True.
Don't believe the hype. This is just me trying to be like, oh, you were born with money. You also have to be hideous.
Yeah.
You can't be both.
That's what you deserve.
That's right. I'm trying to even the playing field, basically.
True. Because I do
Speaking of
think,
wasps. No, it doesn't matter. I was gonna transition into Elizabeth Holmes.
Oh.
But I feel like you have something more important
Before I get into that girl boss, I feel like it's interesting that like English people, I feel like they don't, or at least royals and who I'm picturing, they don't get like plastic surgery to make themselves look better. Whereas I feel like a lot of like rich American people always do that. They're wrinkle free, they can't smile, you know? But the English people just stay ugly. What's going on with that? What's the deal with that?
That was an incredible impersonation, by the way. Who was that supposed to be? Sir Isaac Newton?
Louis Anderson. That's my Louis Anderson.
Is that the journalist? Never mind. I'm wrong. No, that's Thoreau. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one that rapped like, my money don't jiggle jiggle, it falls.
Oh.
I don't see wiggle wiggle.
That guy's fun.
Yeah, I saw him do a piece about like this reform. I don't know what to call it, institution where like pedos go after they've served their prison sentences. And there was a guy that had like this drawing of what was clearly like supposed to be like a young like 15, 16-year-old ballet dancer, like lounging in like skim tights. And he was like, you don't think that this might, you know, not be very conducive to keeping you from wanting to diddle boys? And he was like, I don't see it that way. And I think, these people are never going to recover. Anyway, I think the reason that English people that are wealthy don't fix up their faces is that, number one, you're looking at a very sort of LA, Calabasas, American type culture.
That's true.
Right? Where they want everything. Whereas, I think in England, they think of the Habsburg jaw as like, oh, this is a future that proves to the world,
Yeah.
That my great grandparents were cousins.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they can't remove that because
That's
then
true.
they just look like the average, normal, genetically healthy person.
That's
They
true.
have to keep that. But everyone in the U.S., they want to be rich, but because they're new money, they also want to be hot. So they're 70 years old and they look like someone has wrapped saran wrap around their face, just like.
Yeah.
They're glistening.
Yeah.
They have to be spritzed with water every 10 minutes so that their skin doesn't dry out.
Moisturize me.
Yeah. I don't think we're far off from that. And you know what? I support it.
True.
I support that. That facet of American culture is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And you know what? It keeps people hot. Somebody needs to keep people insecure and hot and running to the needle.
True. It's good for business.
Controversial statement. That's true. And I mean, at the end of the day, I am an ardent capitalist.
Oh, me too.
Only when it benefits.
Freaking love big business over here. Big business fan.
Big, juicy, big boy business.
Yeah.
Until I have to pay taxes, in which case I put on my beret and I start
Yeah.
I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, Elizabeth Holmes.
Yes.
You want to talk about Elizabeth Holmes? I feel like you have more information on her.
I fell down a rabbit hole, which means I read one paragraph of a Wikipedia page. But she's like the ultimate girl boss over here. Like, she deceived like literally millions of people, was worth billions of dollars for a thing that didn't even work. Like, that is incredible. And I hadn't even heard about her. There was
Catholic
like
Church?
Yeah.
They're the only ones that can be billionaires off of something that doesn't exist. Hello?
Okay. T. Yes, so I didn't even know about her until there was like a TV show about her. Now she's like in the news because her sentencing's coming up. Because they're talking about, something Theranos. I was like, the purple guy with the stones? Like, what are you talking about? Then there's this drop of blood thing. I don't really get it.
Neither did she. Neither did she.
I don't think she does with her one semester at Stanford intro chemistry education. T.
Wow.
I'm discriminating against. I'm classist actually, so that's why she doesn't know anything. Also, she's a woman. Of course, she doesn't know anything about science.
And blonde.
Yeah, exactly. T. But
I think that you mentioned actually a business called Therapost.
Yeah,
if you want to get off the ground, tell people about it.
Because I feel like she's got to get her business ideas out now, because she's gonna end up in jail next to the Fire Festival guy, right? Like, she's not gonna be able to get out her ingenious ideas. So I feel like I want a partnership with her, and it'll be called Therapost. This is my. Guys, I've never done an Elizabeth Holmes impression, but we're gonna unveil it today. I'm doing the Trump hands for some reason, but I'm gonna do it. Okay. So this is what how I imagine she would pitch this idea. What I want out of life is to discover something new, something mankind didn't know was possible. Picture this: an Instagram ad, but in real life. You're driving down the highway. You look up, there's a giant poster telling you to call J.G. Wentworth 877 cash now. We call it Therapost. Bam. Go on Shark Tank. Her new billions come rolling in. All we're doing is reinventing the billboard, but the people don't need to know that. The people will never figure that out.
I would say younger people don't even know what a billboard is.
They
know billboard, they're like, music? The music charts? That billboard?
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, you little idiots.
Perfect.
That's what we meant.
I think it'd be perfect.
That's the genius. I think the genius of most businesses is just taking something that exists and is perfectly functional and then destroying it, reinventing it, and then selling it back to the masses at a high price. Because
that's all they're doing with all these streaming services. Because now they're bundling them together and they're just reinventing cable. So I'm like, why don't we do this with literally every aspect of life? Yeah. Big business, okay? I'm a capitalist. What can I say? We could do this with every aspect of our lives. Bam, gazillionaire, instantly, # capitalism.
Not to mention you're a mousy little brunette the opposite
True.
in terms of the aesthetic of, Elizabeth Holmes.
We're the yin and yang
then
of white people.
Right. They'll look at you and they'll be like, wait, Elizabeth Holmes was a blonde, but you have dark hair. That means you're different. So you're allowed to be another woman in this industry.
Exactly.
And that's how it'll work. I'm kind of glad that you cut off a little bit because I was letting out massive farts.
Oh,
and
bummer,
so
I missed
I really
it.
had to, yeah.
I guess I gotta pay
Ever,
extra.
smell them? I'll send them to you. It's okay.
Okay.
I'll save some. I'll fart in a jar.
Nice.
I'll FedEx to you, like express delivery.
Nice.
I'm glad that that's the kind of relationship that we have. It's very fart-based.
Of course.
It's very poop-based. And I think that's, mind you, the only valid foundation for a relationship is like farting in front of each other.
Definitely.
Or sending each other pics of your poops. Like especially when it's really long.
Like a
where it,
snake.
Like, curves.
Yeah. The
No
snake
ripples.
ones.
And you're like, how is that in my body? I was carrying that
Yeah.
in my body.
And I'm a big corn eater too, so there's a lot of little surprises
Yeah.
in there, you know?
You pick them out, you eat them again.
Yeah.
Circle of life.
Exactly. I haven't bought corn in 6 years. I just keep circling it through.
You're resourceful.
Yeah.
That's what you are, Rachel.
I'm saving
and that's
money.
what I admire about you.
Thank you.
I did want to say that I feel like Elizabeth Holmes. Okay, here's the thing. She has a baby daddy now. Actually, I think they're married,
I didn't even know.
which just goes to show you, like, if you're single, it's your fault.
Yeah.
This woman was on trial for like embezzlement, no fraud,
Terrible
God knows
person.
what.
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson probably has a new girlfriend.
Yeah, I believe it. He gets those conjugal visits.
He probably was still getting dipping his ink, dipping his pen in the ink, as I should say.
Oh.
Probably. I feel like he went to one of those like Pablo Escobar prisons.
Yeah.
That he built himself.
Yeah.
And then he basically was just like, having truckloads of hookers and alcohol and stuff getting brought in.
True. I believe it.
O.J. Simpson getting brought down for kidnapping and, you know what I mean, like an assault or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like when Capone got busted for like tax evasion. That's what you get him on?
Yeah. Yeah.
It really goes to show you. Regardless, she has a child now, which we've said this again. Brilliant long-term strategy. They're not going to send her to jail now that she's still breastfeeding, right?
True. She can't
I'm talking
pump
about Elizabeth
behind
Holmes.
bars.
She's the one breastfeeding. Yeah. They'll make her take out the titty like between the bars,
Yeah. Feed
and then
it
they'll
through.
hold up the baby, and then it'll just like
Yeah.
it'll Kirby it in.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that like she should be part of a power couple.
Yeah.
You know.
I think
I
her
feel
and
like
the Fire Festival guy would be perfect.
Right. What was his name again? Brendan?
I don't know.
His name is literally anything. I feel like any sort of 30-year-old white brunette man could come up to me and be like, I was the guy that started Fire Festival. I would believe it.
Yeah, I'd go, oh, okay, cool.
I'd be like, good for you.
And then I would stay away because I feel like he would roofie my drink. He looks like the type.
I don't think he'd go for you like that. No offense, Rachel.
Yeah, that's true. They'd be like, why is this small boy at the bar? Who brought their little
they would
brother
never
here?
serve you.
Yeah.
They never serve you. They give you a juice box.
True.
They'd give you a Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think this is what happens when like you are, okay, people have done studies on this, but if you're considered like relatively conventionally attractive, there is that halo effect where people are just like, but you don't deserve to go to jail. You're too sexy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this works in politics even more, because if you're a hot politician, the way people will be like, the next Kennedy, the next, royal family of politics. And that's just because the standard, it's the same thing with royals. This is why everybody was like eating Princess Diana's ass. Because she was an aristocrat, but she also had like a normal looking pretty face.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, wow, fairy tale wedding. She only has 5 fingers on each one of her hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what happened with the likes of one JFK, which I'm gonna say this to camera. He was not that hot. Anyway, this happened with JFK. This somewhat with Obama. I think Obama was relatively handsome. You know what I mean? Like he was not ugly. And I think a lot of people agree with me. It was that silky voice. You know, like if he went up to one of your bodily orifices and he just started bellowing like, whoa, 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 you would shoot through the roof.
Yeah.
And that was the real reason that he won.
Because that's when the TV debate started. I remember that from
right.
AP US history.
Yeah, with Barack Obama. There were no TV debates before Barack Obama in 2008. But this is something that I've noticed with do you know Madison Hawthorne?
Oh, I'm aware.
Vaguely? Yeah.
I'm aware of him.
For all of you who don't know, he was this like hot kind of frat boy who was in a wheelchair. Hot Wheels, as I like to call him. And he had an injury that was sustained from a car accident. I don't know why. I was convinced that he had been like in the military or something like that, right?
Wait, that's like literally what I thought. I thought he was
Doesn't
like...
he look like the kind of person that would sign up for the military at 12
I thought he was
years
like a
old?
Marine or something.
No, I think he was supposed to be in the Navy... I don't know, in something, but then he got into a car accident. But I think he was projected from them even before that. So, you know, it's a little bit of that, like, I would have been in the military, but then I got into this car accident. And it's like, sir, you weren't going there regardless.
True.
Don't lie to us.
True.
Anywho, he's the kind of guy who is hot, right? And as a result, he was one of the youngest members of Congress. I think he was like 25 years old.
Yeah.
I don't trust a 25-year-old in government. I also don't trust like an 80-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, I think you have to be sort of in between. Like, I agree with the thing that you need to be at least 35 to run for president. Could you imagine a 22-year-old little snot-faced kid? Get the hell out of here. What have you done?
Yeah.
The same way that I don't think someone over 80 years old should be in government. Beat it, Grandpa. Get out. Get out of here. Are you going to have the nurse come in and fix your catheter while you're in the war room?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, check out. I'm sick and tired of this being a geriocracy.
Yeah.
Hit it. Also, if you're over 80 years old and you're like, I think I should run for president, you are a sociopath. Who the hell wants to do that in their golden years? These people are multimillionaires. They have grandchildren. They have their health. And they're like, no. I still want to sink my teeth into this country and suck as much money and power as I possibly can until they drag my corpse out of the Oval Office. They need to be done with.
I agree.
Supreme Court.
You're next.
Supreme Court. Yeah. I'm looking at you. Pew.
Justice Thomas. I'm coming for you. No, don't show the FBI that. Don't show the FBI that.
Whoa. You just threatened a black man with a gun. How does that feel? How does that feel?
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, I'm taking that out of context. I'm adding it to your blackmail portfolio. But here's the thing. So Madison Hawthorne, I think he lost his re-election bid, so he's not even in Congress anymore. He apparently was, like, invited to this weird, like, Republican sex party kind of thing.
Is that with, like the Matt Gaetz guy? The Florida guy?
No. Matt Gaetz was, like, investigated for trafficking or something, but that was unrelated. I think that was, like, an individual. It was just him being a freak.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe there's a whole Epstein situation going on that we're not aware of. But he sort of talked about this, and it was legal. There were no kids involved. But he basically was like, yeah, I got invited to this sort of eyes wide shut kind of situation. Except it was filled with, like, Republican, and I'm assuming there was a little bit of, like, Democrats in there. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
You know, when the cameras are off, you know that both of these parties get freaky. So it was an eyes wide shut kind of situation, but with senators and congressmen and women. I cannot imagine a more disgusting image than, like, Mitch McConnell getting his chin waddle, like,
yeah.
like boing. I don't know, like, are they screwing each other? There's no way. That's repulsive.
Yeah,
They'd
I feel
have to
like
be hiring hot people.
I think so.
The amount of money that you would need to pay these people to screw, like, a senator from Kentucky? Could you imagine what it would take just to give a lap dance to Lindsey Graham? I feel like he would squeak. I feel like if you actually, like, squeezed his body, it would sound like a toy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I'd rather
That's
not.
a real offense right there. That's a real offense right there. But they're allowed to do it. And apparently, I'm assuming that one of the people that invited him to this thing, I don't know if this is necessarily real, but I kind of believe it at this point, and nothing could shock me. I guess they got pissed off that he snitched, and that's a valid point. Was anything illegal happening? Were there any minors involved? Was everyone consenting? Then shut your freaking mouth, Madison.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth, Madison. That's what I gotta say. Wheel yourself the freak out of there if you don't like it.
We got a ramp.
That's right.
See yourself doing that.
That's right. They installed a ramp just for you, you ingrate. And this is how you repay them?
They got a
So that's my
Stairmaster for you and everything. Come on.
That was to mock him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was to mock him. They had like a really hot person that was just his taste, but then she was like standing on the top of a staircase, and they were like, "Go get her, Madison."
And he had to.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Crawl. They were like, "No, crawl your way up.
Oh no.
Crawl your way up," and that's how they get off on it. You know what I mean? Because these are men that were used to being in frats where they were hazing people.
True.
And that was just like that was the first time they got like a taste of what it was like to like be a sadist and get rewarded for it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Yeah, this is so much better than killing squirrels," which is what I assumed that they did.
Probably.
When they were up living in like the suburbs of Connecticut. And this is their upgrade. That being said, if any of you guys have like an invite to one of these parties, like I'd go.
Yeah, like let me know. Like I'm still looking for a job right now, so
I'm not above that.
yeah.
I would not participate, but I would like. I feel like I would be a courtroom illustrator. I'd just be in the corner like making little sketches.
Yeah. I'll be the
I'd really capture the
stenographer.
essence.
I'll be typing next to you.
Oh my goodness, could you imagine the transcript from that?
It'd be juicy. We could sell that. Like, put that on Wattpad or something. They make a movie out of it in like 5 years. Like,
That's true.
we could do it.
We could be, I imagine they'd probably let a few, like, state secrets slip out. Like, in the midst of busting a nut, you know what I mean? If you, like, tickled their taint while they did it, they would just accidentally, like, tell us, a nuclear launch code or something.
I think so.
Yeah, and then we'd be like, oh, Senator, you bad boy. Why'd you tell us that? And he'd be like, I don't know. I just get really excited. That's what I imagine all Southern senators speak like.
I think
Isn't
that's
that what
pretty
they
good.
talk?
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is a good place to end this episode. I feel like we covered all the topics we wanted to. We made fun of the rich. We called them inbred. We called them ugly. So we made fun of ugly and poor people as well, which is necessary.
Yeah.
Because you might think, like, I don't just hate ugly, poor, rich people. I also hate poor people, even if they're hot.
Yeah.
Especially if they're hot. Because it's like, oh, you're a 10 and you're still living in poverty? What's your excuse?
True.
What is your excuse?
Yeah, exactly.
You're better than this. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
So, we covered Elizabeth Holmes. I feel like we brought her up in, I think, at least 5 separate episodes.
I forget who she is each time, and I had to go, who is that? And Google her each time.
She is, in my mind, like a vague silhouette of a white woman. And then when someone says her name, she, like, materializes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, red lipstick.
The turtleneck, I
blonde
think.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. If she had a bob, I would have just assumed that she was Taylor Swift. I would not have been able to tell the difference between the two of them.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, I think Taylor Swift is more hated. And isn't that such a sad reflection of American society?
I think it's a metaphor for how we treat women here.
Misogyny, sexism, blonde hair, red lipstick.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a spoken word that someone is definitely going to perform at, like, Bard University.
Yeah.
We supported scammers. We made fun of Madison Hawthorne. But it's okay. Because him being in a wheelchair and being disabled is canceled out by him being hot.
True.
Don't question me on this.
I think that's how it works.
He's not oppressed anymore. That's how it works. Yeah. I should make up my own rules. I feel like I need to start a way of, like, being able to cancel out people's identities so that you can make fun of them.
True.
Right? This is the beauty of having literally no one listen to you.
We can just say anything.
No one's gonna, like, call me out. And if they did, what will I lose? What do I have? What will you take from me? Yeah.
They'll take your LED lights. Those are the most valuable thing.
I'm sorry. I'm apologizing for everything I said. And on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
Tune in whenever the hell we post another episode. All right.
Bye.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Rachel.
She's Rachel. This is the podcast. I don't know why
We're doing a new outro now.
No, wait, no. This is not the podcast. This is the BoredRoom Podcast. Why do we even bother?
Good question.
All right. Now this is goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, one more class. One more class.
Cause I want tonight, you know my hips don't lie and I'm starting to feel it. Come on,
Yeah, one more class. One more class.
Cause I want tonight, you know my hips don't lie and I'm starting to